My name is Kim McDonnell, and I am one of our program managers for our enterprise clients. And I also manage our account management team.
Great. And tell me about enterprise clients and why we need an account management team to help service them.
Our enterprise clients are the ones who are spending about a million plus. They have the ones that we have right now are direct to consumer campaigns and have providers that participate. So our account managers work with the providers to get people scheduled and check in on them. And then we also work with the field team that the client has. I wasn't
Fantastic.
prepared for that one, Mark.
I know it's a nice warm up question.
But the thing is, like the enterprise clients we have didn't start out that way. They started out only spending $10,000 to $20,000 a year, or I mean a month, and have grown over the years into spending more and more and growing bigger and bigger. So we treat every client like they could be our next biggest client.
Well, exactly. And obviously, they start out small. And let's talk about that growth because you're sort of learning and growing and snowballing based on the data and the response and the success of each campaign, right?
Yeah, there's been times where we can't necessarily prove a return on their investment right away, but we're able to provide them visibility into what their actual patient's care pathway looks like and identify barriers along the way, whether it's scheduling an appointment, getting pre-screened for a clinical trial, getting insurance approval for a procedure. And it's data they've never had before and visibility they've never had before. So sometimes just the data we provide um, is a reason for them to stick with us until we can eventually show them a return on their investment.
Hmm. And I guess that's one of the differences I wanted to explore is that a lot of companies out there say that they create awareness or they create leads, so to speak. But there's a different kind of data I think that you're speaking to. And I wondered if you could give us a little more light on that.
Yeah, there's plenty of agencies out there that will do lead generation campaigns with paid Google search or paid social media ads, but there's no real visibility or tangible metrics that post CTA. So they can give you data on, oh, we collected this so many leads, they clicked on the CTA. After that, we don't know what happened to them. Whereas we engage them right after that CTA and can discuss, ask them further questions and get more information. We can transfer them directly to a provider's office and get that information back to the client. We can connect them directly to a clinical trial site, but then we still continue to engage with them after that until they pretty much tell us to stop, or they've been enrolled in a clinical trial, or they've gotten a treatment or a prescription. But we continue to be their champion and help them navigate the care pathway and help them hopefully find relief.
That's great. And when you think about your role in account management, are you looking at each one of those touch points in that pathway or that funnel to help, accelerate or problem solve or overcome, an obstacle?
Yes, a lot of clients will start with us saying it's only about getting into the initial consultation. And we're like, well, you're going to want to know what's going on after that. So we reach out to the offices and we'll ask, why did they say they're not interested? Why have they been, if they've diagnostics recommended, are you following up with them on that? Or why did they not move forward after they attended their initial consult? They got diagnostics. Why did they not move forward to a procedure? Are there insurance barriers? Are there scheduling barriers? COVID was huge. When COVID started, one of our largest clients had to furlough their entire marketing and field sales team. And so our account managers were the ones who continued to foster that relationship with the physicians. We helped them get on telehealth platforms. We were able to schedule patients directly through the telehealth platforms and continue to bring them patients while while the world was shut down. And so when all of their furloughed employees came back, and the world started to open up again, they were able to continue with procedures or diagnostics or clinical trials. So the account management team was a huge help during COVID.
Very good. Now, 83 Bar often says we do patient recruitment plus. So, sort of filling in the blank there on the bumper sticker. What is the plus beyond patient recruitment?
For a client, I would say it's partnership. Um, like I said, we provide visibility into barriers they didn't know about before. We know their growth plans and we want to help them not only meet them, but exceed it. We work hand in hand with them to make them even more successful than they already are. For patients, I think it's that we're their champions. We're empathetic to their health concerns. We listen, we answer any questions they may have. And then we connect them directly to a provider who specializes in the treatment of their exact health condition, or directly to a clinical trial site, and hopefully, they'll get enrolled and randomized. But we're there for them, and if they have questions post that, our nurses are there to help them and answer some questions.
Mm-hmm. And, we use this word patient as if, it's focused on their condition, but obviously these are people seeking solutions to really improve their life. What is it about what 83 Bar does that's so meaningful to the person along their healthcare journey?
The healthcare care pathway can be complicated. It can be frustrating. You don't know who you're supposed to call or what you're supposed to do, but we're able to help them get through that and make it a little less scary, to get them treatment faster. And, that's just one less day that they're suffering and they can enjoy life. And that's what makes it all worth it. Or when we were recruiting home healthcare agencies to participate in a COVID treatment clinical trial, being able to get those nurses to those patients so they could do the clinical trial. We all played a huge part in finding treatment options for the COVID.
That's good. I was looking through, Kim, several of the pressure tests and market reports that we've done, particularly in being able to refer patients to a specialist. It might have been a neurologist, a gastroenterologist, but something higher level than the primary care doctor. And some of the data showed that, some of these patients had waited 60 days, 120 days for an appointment with a specialist. How is it that 83 Bar speeds up that process?
When we meet with our clients at the beginning to go over how the campaign works, if they have sites, then we go over site selection best practices. They should get the leads in within 14 to 30 days. If it's a referral, they should be reaching out to them within 24 to 48 days. If we find out once we launch that they don't get them in sooner, then we meet with the client and find other providers nearby. They can meet with the lead. There's been times where a lead will call and find out that doctor doesn't take their exact insurance, and they'll call back and we'll find another provider for them. But we make it real clear that you need to be able to get them in sooner than later, because they're ready to go. They're engaged and they want relief.
And looking at it from the client's point of view, what is the benefit to having this concierge attitude approach to managing the patient's pathway?
I think it's because, it does help speed up the process. So the sooner the patients can get in, they trust us, they trust who we're handing them off to. Sooner they can get in, the faster the client, can recognize revenue, but they can also accelerate their growth plans. And most of them exceed any expectations they had for year-over-year growth. And we've done, A/B testing with not having the nurses and not having the site management, holding the provider's hands. And, a lot of leads fall off after that. They click on the CTA and then it's like, great, I'm back on my own to navigate like I was prior to ever filling out the survey.
That's so good. So I guess looking internally now, Kim, if I could kind of turn the page to the company and the operations, 83 Bar is seeing really unprecedented growth right now. And as somebody like you, who's a veteran of the company, how do you see people joining? Why would somebody join 83 Bar at this stage of its life and at some stage of their career?
Well, one, we're growing, and people always want to be a part of a growing company, but there's just this vibe overall of everybody working together to help, clinical trials, to help patients. We all have a desire to help, and there's a lot of smart people. So it's challenging, and we do a great job promoting from within. So there's opportunity for growth, and there's opportunity for that person to have a direct impact on the growth and success of the company that you don't always get at larger companies. You have direct access to the CEO, which is rare. And Bob listens. He wants to hear people's ideas. He likes that we all treat 82 Bar like it's our own company. We're more of a family than coworkers, and it's a very inviting environment. It can be stressful, but we've all been there, so we're there to help each other out and make sure that nobody gets too frustrated.
Exactly. And I guess then thinking about the salespeople and the business development folks that are having regular conversations with prospective new clients, they can't take you on every one of the sales calls. But imagine you were with a client right now, and they're asking you, what kind of service or account management could I expect if I did come on board with 83 Bar? What would you say to them?
We can give them as much or as little as they want. We can do weekly calls with sites, biweekly, monthly. We serve as the point of contact for their field reps. We will train and onboard all of their sites for them, and train them on our referral hub. We will train their field staff. We kind of take that burden off of them, and can manage, help their field team when they have questions, and help the sites, and they don't really have to worry about it. We'll take care of it, and we'll report back to them if there's data or metrics that we don't have information on and they want it. We're happy to dig into it. We're on the site management team is on the phone with the clients all the time. I mean, with the providers and the client's field team. And we all have a really bad habit of working 24/7. It's not something we try to sell, but it is nice when, especially for device salespeople, they're in the operating room all day. And so by the time they get out and they have a question, like, oh, it's 6 o'clock or it's 7 o'clock, but they can still call. We'll answer and make ourselves available so that we can help them.
It's such an interesting combination that I'm hearing you describe a very data-driven protocol. We have systems, we have processes. And then on the other hand, it's a whatever it takes, we'll get it done kind of. How does that blend work for you?
It works really well for me. I would like to have all the data I can have and analyze it. And I like to exceed, our customers' expectations. I always tell myself I will force them to be my best friend. One day they're going to love me, I promise. But you want them to be happy, there's not too many competitors out there that do what we do in the way that we do it. And we do make ourselves more available. We don't charge by the hour. We are partners with them, and we want to help answer any questions they may have. We also, if I'm looking at the data, I can see stuff like, wait, why are there so many insurance denials for this site? Guys, can we call and look into it? And they may not take Medicaid or Medicare, or we can look at overall insurance acceptance in regions so that the site, so that our clients can go back to their lobbyists to try to get, more insurance coverage. They can see that there's a need for it in certain regions. And you have to be someone who wants to work hard, but who likes working with people, but also likes data. It knows how to read it. Not everyone can do it, but everyone on our team does a really good job at it.
That's fantastic. Well, Kim, I think we have covered a lot of ground. So
Yes.
thanks for this.
Did you see a radio host?
I did.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you have the voice.
And I'm still doing podcasts, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a week now. My
I
my
feel like
podcasting hobby has like engrossed my whole life. It's
you're
like,
like, you sound like the, I don't know if you remember that radio show that used to come on, Delilah,
yeah, Delilah.
but when the guy would fill in for her, like,
Yes, yes.
you have that
I remembered his name, but it's like Delilah. She was the best.
Delilah, and
And
she goes,
if
"Hello,
you'd like to call in
yes,
with your long distance dedication,
if you'd like to dedicate a song to your loved one."
that's right. I'd like to play this Phil Collins song for you right now.
Who was that guy that was like, "And now for the rest of the story."
Yeah, Paul Harvey.
Uh,
That would be way before your time.
I remember, like, going to elementary school and my mom would always
Yeah.
have it on. I'm like, "This guy's voice is like."
It's so smooth. He was the best.
Yeah,
Paul
no one
Harvey.
sounds like him, but you have just a smooth voice. There's no, like, scratchiness. I was like, "You look like you fit in that studio pretty good."
I would love to. That'd be my dream come true.